I'm not confirming any information. It is non-personal. Whenever an advertisement is shown on television or somewhere, it is generally non-personal, wherein you try to give the information to a mass people. I mean, the mass population is covered in the advertisement. Okay. So whenever you want to give the information to huge number of population, you generally go by the advertising. So how do we define it? It is a paid form. Advertisement never comes free of cost. It is non-personal because it is a standard message which has been delivered to the entire population, irrespective of the caste, creed, age, gender, whatever it is. And it is out of store mass communication, wherein you try to include newspapers, radios, televisions, and other mass channels. And it is done through an identified sponsor. So there's a sponsor who is clearly going to divulge the message to the people. Okay, so some kind of media, it is going to be delivered. So what are the objectives? Now, the basic objective is you need to create demand. Okay, so it is the product should promote the demand, should create the necessity for the product, and it has to prepare the ground for a new product. Generally, whenever you're advertising, it will try to improve the sales. I mean, it will try to generate the necessity for the product. For example, it is not the normal milk what you're drinking. If you're giving Complan to your child, definitely that is going to give the extra calcium, extra bone strength, and the height. Generally, if you're drinking Complan, the children will be growing more into height. Okay, so such kind of promotions can be done only through advertisement. Why only Boost? So all the sportsmen, the cricketers especially, will have Boost because that is their energy, that is the strength of their energy or whatever it is. So in a way, you try to promote the product, the new product into the market by making the climate so very conducive to the factors, whatever the product is going to divulge. And moreover, you try to face the competition. The more unique your product is promoted in the market, so the more unique the product will have the demand in the market, and competitively it will have an advantage over the other brands. Okay, and the informed changes to the customers. Yeah, so moreover, whenever there's any change in the product base or any change in the product size or shape, so definitely that is going to be communicated to the customers. For example, initially Head and Shoulders used to have that is a circular shape or a rectangular shape cap. Now, once it has changed to the oval shape, so it was promoted now oval shaped Head and Shoulders. So improved Head and Shoulders. So that kind of advertisement will try to tell the consumers that it is not the original one. There are few changes which have been incorporated in the product. And yeah, definitely it will enhance the goodwill for the product. It will have a positive feedback in the market. And compete the, I mean, it is going to neutralize the competitors' advertising. So whenever the competitor is adopting intensive advertising strategy, so it is better to follow similar practices so that you neutralize the effect of the advertisement. Okay, so if at all you check the ads, soft drink ads. So you might have seen, whenever you are having a soft drink, you'll have a lot of energy. You have the courage to talk to your friends. You have the courage to propose to anyone. So such kind of things are shown generally. So one particular advertisement was Hatke in the market. Like I think it was Sprite, I remember, telling that, see, if you are having Sprite, it is not going to give you the friends or it's not going to give you the strength or energy, but it is a refreshing feeling what you're going to get. So something which is close to the reality. Right? If you're having some jump in drink, you're not going to jump like bubbles, right? It is only an energy drink. It is only a drink which is going to satisfy for that moment your thirst or anything. So that kind of advertising, the competitors' advertising will neutralize the effect, which will try to tell that, okay, even the other product is also of similar type. And moreover, it the new entrants, whoever are there, will be barred to enter because of the monopoly, whatever they are creating to the product. And yes, advertisement is a link between the producer and the consumer. Okay, so it will try to have a connection between the consumer's requirements and the producer's products which are being delivered to the consumers. Okay, so the goals can be a retailer would select one or more. So generally he'll not go for the one kind of advertising. Usually he'll be selecting one or two, wherein with the vigorous advertisement, he can promote his brands into the market. And then what are the types of advertising? So if suppose we are checking into the classification of the advertisements, so generally advertising can be pioneer message. Pioneer is usually when a new product is being delivered to the customer, a new entrant into the market, or it can be a competitive parity where whatever the competitor is saying, you try to utilize that effect and say that your product is better. Or it can be a reminder message where you try to tell the customer that still you are there in the market. Or it can be an institutional message where you're trying to promote the message relating to your institutions or organizations. And they, based on the manner of the payment, it can be the full payment by the retailer or cooperative advertising. Now, what is this cooperative advertising? Either it can be the horizontal level, either two or more retailers come together, or it can be vertical, that is a wholesaler or manufacturer, any one of them join with the retailer in advertising. So competitive advertisements generally have a persuasive goal. Like they want to persuade, request the customer to try the product, to use the product, and definitely the product is going to be giving the refreshing feeling to them. Okay, and institutional ads, they try to keep the retailers' names before the public so that the sale will have a goodwill attached. Okay, so whenever you try to attach the name of the institution or the brand where the product is manufactured, definitely that will add value to the product. Okay, and in the vertical or the cooperative advertising, as I said, the manufacturer and the retailer or the wholesaler or the retailer, they share some kind of contractual agreements between them and they try to promote the product. And horizontal, between two competing retailers or between two retailers on the same line, they try to, on the cooperative principles, they try to share the cost and then they try to promote the product into the market. Okay, so there are so many social media which are available. So if it is a newspaper, definitely the size, I mean, where the ad is appearing, the color or the time, whatever the paper is being circulated. Earlier, we used to have evening circulation separately and morning circulation separately. So based on that, maybe, yeah, you can have different set of promotions in the market. Okay. And then you have the budget. So for anything, budget plays a very important role. If you have the money, yeah, definitely you can go in for a very good promotional strategy. So how do you define that? It is based on objective and task. That is, it is related to the objective of what has to be communicated to the consumers. So based on those objectives, you tend to plan your budget and accordingly you plan an advertisement. And then affordable method. So here, though you are very ambitious that you want to give a very good message to your customers, but your budget says that this is what is available, all this is what you can afford. So based on that affordable budget, you try to plan your advertisement. And the most relevant is the percentage of sales method. So based on your promotional costs, how many sales you are able to make, that is the quantity of the sales, the volume of the sales, what you're making in the market. Okay, so that will be accounted. So based on, if I'm spending 1,000 rupees for advertising, I'm getting 3,000 sales. So if I'm spending 2,000, am I going to get 6,000? So some kind of proportions you're going to add to your sales volume, and based on that, you're going to decide the advertising budget. And the last is the competitive parity method. Here, the retailer will not go in for the sales method or affordable method. Simply he'll follow what the competitor is doing. If the competitor's budget is say 1 crore, even he will spend 1 crore on the advertisement. And what are the popular media vehicles used in retailing? So it can be the, if you see, the medium can be TV, daily newspapers, weekly newspapers, shopper papers or web-based phone directories, direct mail, radio, transit, outdoor, local magazines, flyers, circulars, social media, and mobile in-app advertising. So all these are the different medias through which the retail advertising can be done. Okay, so generally if it is television, it is suitable for a mass media. Daily newspapers, again, it depends. Again, different languages are there, different circulations are there, different set of newspapers are there. So it will need a larger retailer's ability wherein they can generally go for the large newspaper circulation. Weekly papers, I mean, weekly, generally they stick to the local markets wherever the weekly newspaper is going. In that particular place, in that particular area, you want to say that there's a new retail mart has opened. So you might put that advertisement in the weekly papers, or sometimes you can put the flyers. You might be seeing flyers or pamphlets wherein they give you the information about the new retail mart, the kind of offers, what they're going to give, the kind of products which are available there. And it can be web-based also. Yeah, nowadays it is more popular. Just sit before the computer, you browse the web, you get the details. Or it can be the phone directories, the direct mail. Sometimes you might send the mail to the direct consumers about the product. Generally, it is related to the industrial customers. Wherever you are supplying industrial material, then you directly send a mail, direct mail to the customer saying about the product's availability. Or it can be radio, or it can be transit. What do you mean by transit? You might have seen on the buses or autos or somewhere you try to paste the advertisement. So wherever the auto or the bus is moving, so in that particular locality, the ad is reflected. Or it can be the outdoor, that is on the, you see most of the walls are covered with the advertisements. Or it can be the local magazines, flyers or circulars, as I said, social media, and mobile in-app advertising also. So all this will help the retailer in promoting their product into the markets. So generally, if it is right now, which is very popular, is the web-based advertising. We get mobile app advertising, so many SMSs we get, so much of information is given through the messaging apps wherein if you're buying a land or a plot somewhere, so this is the price, or if you're visiting that particular place, you're going to get additional offers. So some kind of messages will be provided. And moreover, the web-based, we have so much of information and the images which are shared to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, or it can be Twitter, okay, and sometimes LinkedIn. So all these will be supplying the more and more information to the consumers about the various products or the brands which are available in the market. And then we have sales promotion. Now, what do you mean by sales promotion? You try to promote your product into the market. Okay, so it can be the offers, or it can be conducting the trade fairs, or it can be conducting the exhibitions, or trying to give some kind of banded gifts with the product so that will motivate the consumers to buy. It can be coupons, or it can be rebates, or it can be free gifts, whatever it is. So it is a kind of promotion generally they try to conduct. And as I said, in the trade fairs or the exhibitions. So generally when you go and buy some product in the industrial exhibition, I'm talking about the electronic durable item, you book there, some additional discount will be there. So generally in stores, maybe you're going to get the product for 20,000 after discount, say for 19,000. If you're booking the product in the exhibitions, you're going to get that for 17,000. So some kind of additional discount is provided to promote the sales in the market. So why is the sales promotion done? What are the objectives? So short-term sales volume. So seeing the offers, seeing the gifts, seeing the promotional rebates, consumers will be prompted to buy the product. So to increase the short-term sales volume, or it can be to maintain the consumer loyalty, or you try to emphasize on the novel ways of distributing the product, or it can be an aid. It can be an aid to other promotional tools. So apart from advertising, personal selling, or publicity, sales promotion will be an aid. So advertisement you have already seen, and sales promotion is pushing the product into the market with an offer. So definitely the customer will be interested. So because already he knows about the product, and then again, he is getting some kind of additional benefit in buying the product. Okay. So what can be the sales promotion techniques? Coupons. So these coupons are nothing but, generally they are issued by the retailers or the manufacturers. Okay, in a way they try to issue this coupon stating that once you cross beyond a purchase, a coupon is given, or once you are buying a particular product, a coupon is given. So once you put that coupon, it can be a draw, or it can be maybe you're going to get some kind of a prize if you're making that particular coupon usage. So it is a promotion wherein you try to attract the customers by giving such kind of coupons. Sometimes you go for the first time, you buy for say 2,000 or 3,000 worth goods. That coupon, you'll be issued a coupon which can be reimbursed in the next purchase. So in a way, the retailer is prompting you to buy the product again, or come back to the stores again within next month and buy the product so that you can utilize the coupon. Okay. And you have rebates. So rebate is nothing but generally whenever you give a lesser price. Okay, so whenever you give, you offer the product for a lesser price, such kind of rebates will be given. Okay, so the rebate will generally a kind of a discount which is provided so that the refund policy or the rebate policy is such that where the customers will be attracted to visit the stores and at least have a view of the products, whether not buying or buying. And then you have premiums. Now, what do you mean by premiums? It is an offer, an item for free at a price or a reward. Okay, so generally, what does he do? He will try to make a premium offer. For example, if you're buying, say, 3 soaps, you're going to get a shampoo free. Or if you're buying 2 soaps, a pen is free. So that is the premium offer. So if you're buying, earlier we used to have some kind of relationship between the products, but nowadays there's no such kind of relationship. If you're buying soaps, you're getting a pen. As I said, if you're buying soaps, you get a shampoo free. Somewhat it is related, something which is related to hygiene. Okay, so in a way, whether it can be a related product or unrelated product, that will be given as a premium to attract the customers. And then you have in-store marketing. So where the retailers and the vendors, they focus on considerable attention on in-store design elements and activities. So whenever you're entering and you try to buy, the store environment, okay, so it can be the display can be very beautiful, or it can be an eye-catching, or so generally if you see at the cash counters, if you want to pay the cash counters in the supermarket, you'll have all the quick buys like chocolates or gums, or it can be earlier when we had COVID, Corona, during that time we had face masks or the sanitizers generally placed there. So even if you forget, you generally come there and at the time of the payment of the bill, you try to just pick that. Or sometimes maybe you must have forgot, or even with no reason, you see a chocolate, you wanted to buy that and you buy the chocolate. So such kind of behaviors we can observe. And sample. Now, what do you mean by sample? So you want to promote the sales. So for that, what do? You try to give a sample of the main product as free of cost. You just give them so that they're going to try. Now, Denim has also done this, where the Denim talcum, that is the fragrance powder, when it introduced into the market, so in the small sachets, they have given this Denim powder as a sample free of cost. Whoever visited that particular supermarket, they have just given the sample so that you use the sample, and if you like it, maybe definitely you're going to come and adapt yourselves to the new product and buy a new product. And you try to conduct the special events. As I said, it can be a fair, or it can be an exhibition, or it can be some kind of an event which is sponsored by the advertiser, by the retailer. So in a way, such kind of things will definitely promote the sales in the market. So yeah, so you have the point of purchase, you have the counter displays of the product, you have various contests. It can be a couple contest or individual game or something, a puzzle. Or I think Thumbs Up has done that, right? Where you have to open the wrapper, you have to take the wrapper from the bottle, and behind the wrapper there is a quiz. You have to do that quiz and submit that in the coupon box. And if you're winning, then definitely you're going to get a prize. So such kind of contests are conducted. Then you have sweepstakes. What are sweepstakes? So if you're filling an application or a form, generally you'll be picked up and you might get a chance to win something. It can be a coupon, frequent shopper programs, prizes, samples, demonstrations, and referral gifts. Whenever you're referring someone to the stores or to the products, you'll be getting some kind of a concession or a discount. It is usually called as a referral gift. Matchbooks, pens, calendars, shopping bags. So generally during the New Year times, wherever you're buying, they give you a complimentary calendar. Okay, so that is where you try to promote the sales. And you also have special events which are sponsored, through which you can have the attach yourself with a special event as a sponsor and generate sales. And then you have personal selling. So personal selling is where you have a personal oral communication between the prospective customer and the retailer, which will generally result in the sale. So the personal selling can be a door-to-door sales or over-the-counter sales. Now, what is over-the-counter sales? You go to a shop where there's a salesman. A salesman is going to talk to you and then sell the product. So that is personal selling, over the counter. And the door-to-door sales, where the salesman will be coming to a particular locality, visit each and every building or house and try to sell the products. It can be a small juicer, or it can be a cutter, or it can be a blade, whatever it is. So that is called as personal selling, which comes under door-to-door. Okay, so generally, whenever you're going for the personal selling, the objective is to persuade. So if you are talking to the customer, your ability to persuade, tell the good things about the product, and then try to promote the product in the market. And then you also have the customer transactions, where you try to see that the customer transaction is complete. They try to knock your door and say good afternoon or good evening, and they are very polite. They try to tell you about the product. They try to, give a lot of information about the product. And finally, they try to request you to buy, give a try for the product, say that there are so many offers available, or if there is any problem with the product, the customer service will promptly talk to the customer and deal with the situation. So in a way, the personal salesman will try to convince the customer to make a purchase. Okay. And then what are the types? Most sales positions involve either taking order or getting order. Order taking salesperson, he performs a routine clerical or sales function. He'll set up the displays. He will check the stocking shelves. He'll be answering the simple questions, and he'll see that the particular transaction ends in the sales. And order getting salesperson, he's actively informed in prompting the customer to close the sale. So he will be actively talking to the customer, giving lots of information. He'll be persuading them. He'll be giving a lot of information. So many things will be spoken so that really ends in a sale. So a manufacturer sometimes he'll be funding the personal selling by providing promotional or push monies. So whenever the salesperson is able to end the particular sale, he is going to get some kind of push money or promotion incentive. So generally what happens in a selling process? So generally a salesperson, as I said, will read the customer, determines or find out what a customer wants. Then he will try to show them the merchandise. And then he will give a presentation about how the product works. And then he will demonstrate the product. And whatever the queries are there, he will try to answer those queries and tries to close the sale. And based on the closing of the sale, he will give the feedback to the salesperson, stating that how the particular sale would happen. Okay. So this particular salesperson showing the merchandise and selecting the product, satisfying the customer demand and want, generally motivates the customer to purchase the product. So the canned sales presentation, it is a memorized repetitive speech. I mean, they try to memorize the content, and the same is given to all the customers who are interested in the particular item. Okay. And it can also be a need satisfaction approach, where you try to identify the need and maybe, yeah, you're going to prompt the customer to oblige and try to buy the product. And then the demonstration of the product, the demonstration of the product will try to tell the utility of the product, and in a way, the customer is satisfied, he's going to make the buying decision and purchase the product. So what would be the closing line? Yeah, nowadays it is very prompt. Are you going to make the payment in cash or card? Okay. Or it can be now, I think, cash or card, or now we have online. Now, what is this? Through the phone pay or Google Pay, where you try to transfer the money and then make the sale. And the last one being the public relations. So public relations is maintaining a positive relationship with the customers. So in a way, you're trying to communicate about the companies, the best deeds and the service to the society. Okay, so for example, generally a customer will be associating the company with not only the profits, but also with the services. How good it is associated or attached with the community services will also be verified. So the public relations activities will definitely influence the consumer to purchase a particular product. And coming to the next subheading is servicing the retail customer. Now, what is servicing? Servicing is nothing but the kind of customer service what you're offering. A customer service is not an individual service. It is always related to a group effort, a team effort. If some customer is entering to a restaurant, it doesn't mean that the person who is standing at the door only is supposed to give the service, or the person who is serving him should only give him the service. It starts with the entry and ends with the exit. So all the people who are there in that particular restaurant, the services should be intending to satisfy each and every customer. So it is the set of activities and the programs which are undertaken by the retailers to give the best kind of shopping experience, which is more and more rewarding. So when the shopping experience is very good, when the customer service is very good, definitely that is going to increase the customer loyalty, as well as the sales will also be increasing. And moreover, the word of mouth, the positive word of mouth can also happen, where you try to tell everybody that what kind of a store or what kind of a restaurant or eatery it is. And simply the satisfied customers will try to provide a positive environment for all the people who are working in that particular organization. So there are types of customers. Loyal customers who generally visit the same shop again and again and they buy the products. You have impulse customers. Generally, they are not specific about the product in the mind. They generally enter and whatever product they like, generally they buy that particular product. Discount customers, these customers, major purchase decision lies on the kind of discounts what he or she is going to get. Need based. I mean, here the customer is more specific about his particular need. And he's going to buy the product which is going to satisfy his need or demand. And then you have wandering customers. Who are they? They are not sure of what they want to buy. They generally look out the entire stores and I mean, they'll just keep wandering from one layout to another layout. So out of all these, the loyal customers are very, very important to the company because the loyal customers, if we see in the percentages, it is 20% of the company's customer base, they contribute. But this 20% volume is very huge. And a loyal customer will never jump. He will be sticking to the organization. So it is very, very important to satisfy and make the loyal customers very happy. So impulse customers, as I already said, they don't have any specific product in their mind. So such kind of impulse customers will not come with some kind of a specific shopping list. They'll be just moving around and their buying decision is very spontaneous. Discount customers, they also play a very important role. Whenever there are discounts, they come and buy in huge volumes. Need-based customers are driven by specific need. They are not attracted to any other product except what they feel that is important or that is necessary. And wandering customers, they generally create the traffic. Because of them, we find huge traffic in the retail stores because they don't generally buy, but they just turn around, walk around, look around, and I mean, visit every stores in the retail mart. Check every product or brand, just gain the knowledge or the information, and they're not sticking to any purchase decision. Now, the strategic advantage to customer service. So generally, stores differentiate their retail offerings based on customer loyalty or the sustainable competition, and giving excellent customer services so that the customer is there with the organization for a longer time. So the perceptions of the customer service, they're often developed through interactions with the frontline employees or moreover, the frontline employees will have a lot of information like how the customer is entering and what kind of vigilance he has, where he's moving around, what kind of products he's looking at. So such kind of information can be gathered and based on that, the services can be provided. Most of the times, if you go to a regular retail mart and you ask for a product, they say, sorry, sir, the product is out of stock. And in a way, they don't lose the customer, but they'll say that we have similar kind. Maybe let me guide you to the other product. So in a way, you try to satisfy the customers by providing excellent customer services. Now, coming to the customer services approaches, you have personalized service. Now, personalized customer services is less consistent than standardized service. Now, what is standardized? Standardized is something which is framed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are common to every customer. These are standardized. Okay, maybe some you might add based on the amount what they are paying, but generally these are the standardized services which are generally to each and every. So here, the personalized services, they depend upon not on standardized, but they give the kind of services based on the customer's attitude, the customer's perception, consistency, and the kind of products he's going to buy. So all these are based on the fine understanding of the customer. Okay. So generally they know the customers personally or they have some kind of communication. So out of that, they generally recommend the products. They give a product for a trial. Okay, so in such ways, this kind of personalized service is possible. And standardized services, it is the consistency what they try to maintain in the service quality, and they try to avoid the extra costs or the extra charges as like in personalized services. Okay. And then use of service approaches. Now, the buying process that consumers go through that depends upon what a consumer has experienced in the past and what is the risk that is associated with the present purchase decision. Okay. And moreover, the personalized information or the personalized desired sales, whatever are associated, codes differ for different buying situations. So most consumers, they have significant knowledge and they have the experience of the shopping, and they know enough information about the kind of products which are sold in the supermarkets or the convenience stores. And in such cases, generally, you need to have a smarter touch in providing the services to the customers. Now, what are the indicators of quality services? Basically, there are 5 indicators for the quality services, and this model is developed by Parasuraman, Zitmal, and Javieri, and somewhere this was being done in 1980s. So, according to this model, the first level is possible, is a gap between the customer expectations and the company's management's perception. Okay, so what are the management views about the expectations, what the customers have, and the real customer expectations. So the kind of ignorance or the misunderstanding what is there between the management's understanding of the customer and the customer expectations is the first gap. And the second gap is the management's perception of customer expectation and the process of implementing the quality in an enterprise. Okay, so they have something in their mind. The management has that this is what the customer is expecting. And when they try to implement that, in the implementation, you will find the gap. So what you have thought in the mind might not be implemented in total. The third level is the possible gap between the required and existing standards for the quality of services provided. Okay, so what are the quality standards required and what are the existing standards which are prevalent? The gap between these two will be certainly trying to judge the gap. Okay, so and the last one, fourth one being the possible gap for the quality of the services provided and the external information about the quality which has been transmitted through word of mouth to other customers. Oh, that mall, the moment you enter the shopping mall, you will have this. This is how they treat you. At the entry, they're going to provide this to you. So in a way, the positive word of mouth has already gone. And after some time, you visit there and nothing really happened as was told to you. Definitely, there's a gap. So what the person has heard about, the message which has been transmitted to others, if the same message is not delivered as it is, then there's a gap. And the fifth level is the formed expectations of the customers regarding the quality and the direct perception of their quality. So if there is any gap between these two, then finally there is, that is definitely going to affect the services. So you also have customer evaluations of service quality. Generally, who has to evaluate the service? The person who has taken the service has to evaluate. So a customer can evaluate based on his perceptions by comparing what he heard and what he is actually delivered, and the kind of expectation what he has in mind and what has actually been served, whether the feeling is satisfied feeling or dissatisfied feeling. So these factors can be evaluated. First one being the perceived service. So the customer should feel that the service is unique. The customer should feel that he was treated special and he was offered with the various varieties what he was expecting. Whether it is relating to the service, whether it is relating to the arrangement of the products, or whether it is related to the payment strategy, whatever it is. So that is the perceived service. What I feel I should get it, whether I'm getting it or not. That is a kind of feedback what a customer will have. Okay. And there are 5 customer service characteristics. What are they? Reliability. It is the ability to perform the service dependably and accurately. Okay. So, whatever the reliable service is there, if that is performed improper, then whatever the customer expectations are there, those are met. Assurance. He needs the assurance from the stores. They need to be very courteous. They need to be very knowledgeable. They should have the ability to infuse the confidence. They should be very confident about the product, what they are selling. And the next being the tangibility. How the appearances are there. The kind of look, the kind of presentation, the kind of equipment what has been used. These all are tangible. Empathy. Empathy refers to the caring. How much care did you get in the stores from the staff? The responsiveness. How responsive the staff were towards the customers. So these 5 are the service characteristics that really affect the perceptions of the customers. And coming to the expectations, apart from the perceptions, there are certain expectations which affect the judgment of service quality. So, based on the past experiences, a customer will always have some kind of expectations in future. So, in past, if the reception was very good, he expects the same kind of reception in future also. So, if that is not met, he is dissatisfied, is disappointed, and definitely the perception about the stores will be changing. Okay, so there are a few examples, like a jewelry stores that cleans customers' jewelry. Okay, so you go to a jewelry shop to buy the jewelry, and they ask you to give your old jewelry, that is your bangles or ear studs or whatever it is, and they just do the cleaning and make it shine as new, is a customer service. Okay, and then it can be the men's stores that use numbered tags on each garment so that the customer will know like what goes together, what kind of a shirt and what kind of a pant will go together. So these are all the services which try to provide the satisfaction of the customer service. Okay, so customer satisfaction is not negotiable. You cannot negotiate that, because customers will never be wrong. Customer is always the king. Whatever the king demands has to be provided. And even if the customer is wrong sometimes, you cannot say that the customer is wrong. Okay. So how do you improve the retail customer service quality? As we said, the knowledge gap, the retailer's knowledge and the customer's knowledge, whatever the gap is there, that has to be filled up. So how can the retailer do that? He has to learn about the product, about the customer expectations, the perceptions through social media. Now you have YouTube for everything. We have YouTube. Wherever you find the kind of information has to be explored, you can just go to the YouTube or social media, review the blogs, try to review the sites. Based on the reviews, you can improvise and try to give the best to the customers. And then you have the survey panels or contests wherein you try to take a survey. You try to ask the customers to fill up a feedback form. Based on that, you can definitely deliver the or reduce the gap between the customer expectation and the service quality. You can also interact with the customers. Sorry, either it can be the direct observation or it can be directly you go and talk rather than observing from somewhere standing. You can directly go and talk to the person and get the information. A feedback, that is the customer complaints, or it can be some kind of, negativity from the customer because they are not satisfied. A complaint is there and you address the complaint properly, yeah, you can reduce the gap. The feedbacks, whatever you take from the stores or the store employees, or by doing a customer research, you can try to reduce the knowledge gap. Now, the standards gap. The standards gap is what the retailer is actually giving and what kind of a standard the customer is expecting. So this can be reduced by collecting the information or by observing the customer's attitude. They might improvise the shelf space by giving more modern products, or give their impression, a good shopping experiences can be given. Okay, so they have to commit their firms by providing the high quality service, or it can be the set service goals, and they can also measure the service performances, and based on that they might reduce the gap in the service standards. And this can be by providing the service quality, service providers, or setting up their own service goals, saying that this is what we have to do to improvise the service. And you can also measure the service performance, because every retailer need to assess what kind of a service quality he is giving, and this kind of assessment should be continuous basis. So every 1 month or every 2 months or every quarter, he needs to assess just to check whether the retailer is giving the same or something different. The delivery gap, you have to give the information and training to the service providers. As a service provider, you need to have all the information about the customers, and based on that, you need to train your sub-staff or staff, giving the right kind of information and seeing that there is no gap between the delivery. And also, you empower the service employees. It means that to make important decisions regarding how the service should be provided to the customers, by giving the authorized information, by giving the quality service improvements, or by giving the best employees the chance to identify and give the right kind of suggestions so that they can just implement in that. And you also provide instrumental and emotional support, like appropriate systems or the equipments which have to be delivered. And sometimes it also involves the connect between, the emotional connect between the retailer, that is the service provider, and the customer, where you have to demonstrate the products and demonstrate the products and show that how best the products are going to be working. And many retailers also use incentives. They pay commission on sales. They motivate the employees whenever they are providing a very good service to the customers. And for all this, you need to have a very good technology usage. Each one of them should be techno savvy, and the internal communication should be appropriately used. Whatever the internal communication is there, what kind of the barcodes or the QR codes or whatever they are using, the technology, that has to be updated and that has to be prompted and trained. In that way, you can reduce the delivery gap. The communication gap, yeah, you need to give what is desirable, more realistic. You cannot give unrealistic commitments. Such kind of communications will not improvise, rather they deteriorate the conditions. And try to reach the customer expectations. Whatever the customer expectations are there, you try to reach them. In that way, you can reduce the gap between the communication. Yeah, then service recovery. Now, what do you mean by service recovery? The delivery of the customer service is generally inconsistent. So, you have ample chances where there are service failures. So, rather than focusing on the negative aspects, that is the customer problems. Retailers must focus on the positive opportunities, like how they can overcome them, how they can overcome these problems and complaints and give an excellent service. So this can be done by listening to the customers. So most of the times you don't listen. You have to listen to the customer, understand their problems, understand their complaints. And after understanding, you need to provide a fair solution. I mean, you need to evaluate the situation and give a fair solution to the complaint. And this can be a distributive fairness where customer's perception of the benefits received compared with his or her cost in terms of inconvenience or monetary loss. So, for example, you take a room in a hotel and the room doesn't have AC or the AC is not working properly. So, because of which the customer could not sleep properly throughout the night. Maybe you can, if the room cost is 5,000, maybe you can just give him 15,000 as compensation. So 5,000 gone, at least he's on 10,000 benefit side. Or it can be procedural fairness where, I mean, you need to follow the procedure where you have to approach the grievance. And in the grievance, whatever the committee decides, whatever the guidelines are there, based on that, the complaints will be handled. And moreover, whatever the problem is there, that should not be shoot out. I mean, that should not be stretched very long. Whatever the problem is there, that has to be resolved immediately, because the more and more you prolong, the problem becomes more and more intense. And then you have the next subheading, social media marketing. Now, what is social media marketing? Social media marketing is nothing but it is a powerful way for the businesses of all sizes to reach the prospective customers. Social media such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Insta. Nowadays, these have become very, very popular. Whatever message you are conveying in that, whatever the content you are supplying in this social media marketing is having a lot of influence. And moreover, apart from the influence, there is no control on the message also. If I'm using a particular brand, I'm satisfied, I will inform the same in my social media. And if I'm dissatisfied, I'll convey the same in my social media. So that will definitely have both positive as well as the negative effects of marketing. Now, social media marketing, it refers to the process of gaining traffic or attention through social media platforms. Now, the social media platforms, generally it is internet marketing, wherein you try to use the internet and through various social media platforms, you try to convey the message. But is it all digital marketing? Now, the difference between digital marketing and traditional marketing is clear. Because in the digital marketing, the focus is on the web, and the traditional marketing focuses on non-digital media, like it can be a print media, television media, mail media, billboards or catalogs or television, whatnot. So you are going to go with the traditional media marketing. So the digital marketing also includes the search engine optimization or email marketing, banner advertising, mobile marketing, and it can be billboards, digital television, whatnot. So all these come under the digital marketing. So the social media marketing's reach is largely, it is limited to the boundaries of the internet. So if the internet is there, yeah, definitely the media is going to run. On the contrary, digital marketing sometimes goes beyond the realm of the internet. So it also includes the other digital channels that like mobile phones or digital billboards, wherein you can reach them in the offline mode also. So the social media marketing also involves a mutual engagement between the audience and the company. Now, what are the social media platforms? It can be social networks, which will be connecting with the people. It can be media sharing networks where you share the photos or videos with the other media, or it can be the discussion forums, or it can be the consumer review networks, or it can be the blogging or the publishing networks, or it can be the internet-based networks. So what are social networks? Social networks' major purpose is to connect with the people and the brands through online. Okay, so these help the users to share the information and the ideas virtually without any physical connection. So the social media platforms which are very, very popular are, it can be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so on. Now the media sharing networks. So these platforms are primarily used to share photos, videos, live videos, and other media online. Okay, so I think nowadays we have this Snapchat, YouTube, where you try to share your videos, as well as the Instagram photos or videos, you try to show them or share them. And then we have the discussion forums where, like Quora, where if you have any doubt at a particular term, you try to just put it on the Quora team, you give an answer. So it is a discussion forum where you try to discuss to what extent you are correct or to what extent you are not correct. Generally, it all depends upon the takers who are trying to listen to that particular or who are trying to read that particular answer. Bookmarking or content curation networks, they help the users to discover or save or share some news item, which is generally trending in news content or in the media. Okay, so like we have a Flipboard or Pinterest. So these are the bookmarking, which generally have this kind of networking. And consumer review networks, I mean, you have the platforms which are intended to find, review, and share the information about the products or the services. It can be a restaurant, it can be a travel service, or it can be the jewelry, or it can be a service relating to any particular fair or something. So generally we have Zomato or TripAdvisor. Then you have the blogging and publishing. Blogging, where you try to write about a particular view or a particular news. You try to write in your blog, where others will be reading that, and based on that, you will have your content published online. And you have the sharing option, and then you have also the commenting option, where you'll be getting the different kinds of comments for the blogs. And social shopping network, yeah, it is an e-commerce which will be engaging in the social element. And interest-based networks, yeah, based on the interest, the personal interest of the people, they try to attach themselves to a particular network based, wherein it can be books, or it can be a subject, music, cookery, or it can be the interiors, whatever it is. So you try to connect with them and then try to have the interaction. Now, why is social media very, very important? Because it has the brand awareness. It will be giving the information about the brand. Cost effective, there's no connection direct, all virtual connections are there. And you can engage with your customers through online, the social media throughout the day, 24/7. You can connect with your customers. You can improve the brand loyalty, and you can also have a very healthy customer satisfaction whenever you are using the social media. And you also have the marketplace awareness, because it is the best way where wherever your interest, wherever your need is there, you can connect there. And it has more brand authority. And whatever the traffic is there, that can be very well organized. Website traffic can be very well organized if it is through social media platforms. And your social media presence will definitely have a very important element, that is the rankings. You can calculate your rankings based on your social media presence. The customer engagement is nothing but it is a business communication which connects between the external stakeholder and the organization. So the social media platforms can be used to effectively engage the customers. How is this done? With the evidence of the business, where you take the testimonials of the satisfied customer and certifications, you can publish that. You can expand your scope of the market. And moreover, when you're comparing the traditional advertising, it is more expensive. So that kind of cost effectiveness, you can find it in the social media marketing. And yeah, it will also boost the brand awareness. Lot of offers, lot of incentives, lot of sharing can be done through social media marketing. And usually the quality, you can deliver the quality content, and moreover, you can give and take to boost engagement. Both the advertisement can be used as a publicity strategies, one-way communication, or it can be one-on-one communication also, which will definitely boost the social media platforms. And the promote platforms in store, you pull the customers onto the social media and the companies, and you can share the coupons or whatever is there, you can share with them and build the loyalty. So social networking from this concept will continue in the next class. I hope I made it very clear till the social media platform. So we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.